On December 19, 2024, during his annual press conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin issued a provocative challenge to the United States, proposing a missile duel to demonstrate the capabilities of Russia's new hypersonic ballistic missile, the Oresnik. In a move that underscores the escalating tensions between Russia and the West, Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a provocative challenge to the United States. If you are new to our channel, please leave a like as well as a sub so you never miss another video. During his annual press conference on December 19, 2024, Putin proposed a missile duel to demonstrate the capabilities of Russia's new hypersonic ballistic missile, the Oresnik. The crux of Putin's proposal is that both Russia and the US would select specific targets to defend with their respective missile defense systems. This would effectively test the effectiveness of the Oresnik against American defenses, a direct response to Western skepticism regarding the missile's capabilities. Putin was adamant in his assertion that the Oresnik is based on modern Russian designs and has already seen combat deployment, notably in a strike against the Ukrainian city of Dnipro on November 21, 2024. This attack, he claimed, was retaliation for Ukraine's use of US-made ATACMS and British Storm Shadow missiles against Russian territory, actions that Putin alleges were conducted with Western approval. By highlighting the Oresnik's combat debut and its successful strike against Ukrainian targets, Putin appears to be sending a clear message to the West. Russia's new hypersonic missile is a formidable weapon that cannot be easily intercepted or dismissed. Interestingly, Putin's missile challenge was accompanied by an expression of willingness to engage in discussions with US President-elect Donald Trump regarding future relations and potential resolutions to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Additionally, the Russian leader reiterated his country's military successes in Ukraine, asserting that the 2022 invasion had actually strengthened Russia both militarily and economically. However, he did acknowledge the economic strains caused by record defense spending, underscoring the delicate balance Russia must maintain between its military ambitions. At its core, Putin's missile challenge appears to be a bold attempt to demonstrate Russia's technological prowess and military might in the face of Western skepticism and hostility. By proposing a direct confrontation between the Oresnik and US missile defenses, he is effectively daring the West to put its capabilities to the test. This move also serves to reinforce Russia's position as a global power that cannot be easily dismissed or marginalized. The willingness to engage in discussions with the US president-elect, coupled with the emphasis on military successes, suggests that Putin is seeking to project an image of strength and strategic flexibility, even amidst the ongoing tensions and economic pressures. As the world watches this unfolding geopolitical drama, the implications of Putin's missile challenge could have far-reaching consequences for the future of East-West relations and the delicate balance of power on the global stage. Putin also addressed the situation in Syria, denying any Russian defeat despite recent setbacks, including the retreat of Russian soldiers and the ousting of Bashar al-Assad's regime. He insisted that Russia's involvement in Syria was aimed at combating terrorism and supporting Syria's sovereign interests. The geopolitical landscape between Russia and the West has become increasingly volatile following the United States' decision to authorize the use of advanced missile systems by Ukrainian forces against Russian territory. This strategic move, aimed at bolstering Ukraine's defenses and disrupting Russian military operations, has dramatically shifted the dynamics of the conflict. Moscow's response, marked by retaliatory missile strikes and provocative rhetoric, underscores the deepening divide between the two powers. The situation reflects the intensifying militarization of the region and highlights the growing competition in advanced missile technologies, particularly hypersonic weapons. The conflict's escalation has been marked by significant developments, starting with Ukraine's expanded use of Western-supplied missile systems. Strikes on ammunition depots, logistical hubs, and air bases have significantly disrupted Russia's operational capabilities, with one of the most impactful incidents being a missile attack on a major Russian airbase in Crimea, which damaged advanced aircraft and halted operations for weeks. These precise and devastating strikes have highlighted the potency of Western-supplied weaponry and intensified Moscow's resolve to retaliate. Russia's response has centered on the deployment of its advanced hypersonic ballistic missile, the Oresnik. The Oresnik hypersonic ballistic missile represents Russia's most advanced and formidable missile technology to date. Designed as a strategic weapon to counter NATO and US missile defense systems, the Oresnik is a critical component of Russia's military modernization efforts. Capable of speeds exceeding Mach 10 and equipped with maneuverable warheads, the Oresnik reflects Russia's ambition to maintain a competitive edge in the global arms race. The development of the Oresnik is rooted in Russia's desire to overcome Western missile defense systems, particularly those deployed in Eastern Europe. Its conceptualization began in the early 2010s as part of Russia's broader strategic deterrence initiative, following the successful deployment of earlier hypersonic systems such as the Avangard and Kinzhal. This missile leverages advanced materials and propulsion technologies developed through years of research in hypersonic flight dynamics. The Oresnik became operational in 2024 and has since been deployed in limited numbers, primarily in key strategic locations across Russia. The Oresnik stands out as a state-of-the-art weapon due to its cutting-edge technology and superior performance characteristics. 1. Speed and maneuverability. Capable of speeds exceeding Mach 10, approximately 12,000 km per hour, the Oresnik is virtually impossible for conventional missile defense systems to intercept. It is equipped with a glide-phase maneuverability system that allows it to evade anti-missile defenses by altering its trajectory mid-flight. 2. Range. The Oresnik boasts an operational range of 6,000 to 8,000 kilometers, enabling it to strike targets across continents and providing Russia with unparalleled strategic reach. 3. Warhead options. Designed to carry both conventional and nuclear warheads, the Oresnik's nuclear payloads range from 100 kilotons to 1 megaton, making it a powerful deterrent. 4. Propulsion system. The Oresnik utilizes a dual-stage solid-fuel rocket booster to achieve hypersonic speeds, and integrates a scramjet engine during its glide phase for sustained high-speed travel. 5. Stealth features. The missile features radar-absorbent materials and a reduced thermal signature, enhancing its ability to evade detection. The Oresnik has been deployed in select locations, including Russia's Arctic bases and key military installations in Siberia. These sites provide optimal conditions for missile launches while securing the weapon from potential preemptive strikes. The Oresnik's primary strategic roles include 1. Deterrence. Serving as a key element in Russia's nuclear triad, the Oresnik is designed to deter potential adversaries by guaranteeing a devastating retaliatory capability. 2. First strike capability. The missile's speed and precision enable it to incapacitate critical enemy infrastructure, such as radar installations and missile defense systems, in the early stages of a conflict. 3. Defense penetration. The Oresnik is specifically engineered to defeat advanced missile defense networks, including NATO's Aegis Ashore and THAAD systems. This strike demonstrated the missile's operational capabilities, with Russian officials claiming complete destruction of the target. The event marked the first confirmed use of the Oresnik in a live conflict, signaling its readiness for strategic operations. The missile has also been featured in several high-profile military exercises. These tests were widely publicized by Russian state media as evidence of the weapon's superiority. Developing and deploying the Oresnik has placed a significant strain on Russia's economy. The missile's production relies on advanced materials and precision manufacturing, both of which have been impacted by Western sanctions. Technologically, the Oresnik represents a major achievement for Russia, consolidating its position as a leader in hypersonic weapons. However, sustaining its production and deployment amid economic constraints remains a critical challenge. The sanctions imposed by the United States and the European Union on Russia, particularly in response to its actions in Ukraine and other geopolitical disputes, were intended to isolate and weaken the Russian economy, thereby curbing its military and strategic ambitions. However, the outcomes of these policies reveal a paradox. Rather than crippling Russia, the restrictions have pushed the nation to innovate, diversify its technological sources, and enhance its self-reliance, especially in the defense sector. Russia's defense sector is a striking example of how sanctions have catalyzed development rather than stagnation. The inability to procure Western components and technology has compelled Russian industries to develop indigenous solutions. This has led to advancements in hypersonic missile systems such as the Oresnik and robust progress in areas like electronic warfare, military technologies, and advanced robotics. Moreover, Russia has deepened technological partnerships with nations outside the Western Bloc, including China, India, and Iran. These collaborations have fostered the transfer of knowledge and resources, creating a counterbalance to Western technological dominance. The diversification of suppliers has not only mitigated the impact of sanctions but also strengthened alliances that challenge Western hegemony in the global geopolitical order. The EU and US policies aimed at isolating Russia have not only failed to achieve their intended objectives but may also have accelerated the very developments they sought to prevent. By forcing Russia to diversify and innovate, these policies have arguably made the nation more self-sufficient and strategically versatile. The West's approach has highlighted the limitations of using economic tools to achieve political ends, particularly against a nation with vast natural resources, a large domestic market, and a network of non-Western allies. Moreover, these policies have contributed to deepening divides between the East and the West, as Russia's pivot toward the East, coupled with China's growing global influence, has created a multipolar world where the dominance of the US and its allies is increasingly challenged. The current geopolitical turmoil signals a world in transition. The traditional order dominated by Western institutions and norms is facing sustained challenges from emerging powers. The East, led by nations like China and Russia, is shaping an alternative order based on regional alliances, technological innovation, and economic interdependence outside Western frameworks. Tensions between the West and the East, exacerbated by competing visions for the future, could lead to prolonged rivalry and conflict. At the same time, the erosion of Western influence presents an opportunity for more balanced and inclusive global governance, provided that dialogue and cooperation prevail over confrontation. The trajectory of current events underscores the need for a reassessment of Western policies. Sanctions, while powerful, have limitations and unintended consequences that can undermine their effectiveness. The West must recognize that isolating major powers like Russia may only deepen divides and fuel innovation that ultimately weakens its strategic position. As the world becomes increasingly polarized, it is imperative to seek pathways for engagement, mutual understanding, and the reduction of tensions. The alternative, a prolonged era of rivalry and fragmentation, threatens global stability and prosperity. The time has come for policymakers on all sides to reflect on the lessons of the past and chart a course that prioritizes diplomacy, cooperation, and a shared vision for a peaceful and equitable future. Only by embracing this approach can the world navigate the challenges of the present and shape a more stable and prosperous global order. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like as well as a sub so more people can see this.